It's time for Inside the Trenches with Super Bowl champion and national champion Marlin Favorite. Get ready for the top stories in the world of sports and entertainment. Hello, somebody. It's Inside the Trenches. Let's go.
Well, hello, somebody. I hope y'all out there moving y'all body. You heard me? It's the host of Inside the Trenches, Marlin Favorite. And I got two of the coolest co-hosts in the city with me right now. That boy Fred from Fanview. Then we got CL NOLA representing the GM, looking for the next MVP on his team. Hello, somebody.
God bless.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I hope y'all enjoying y'all day. Hope y'all enjoying yourself, driving home safely, or if y'all tuning into us live on y'all YouTube, we appreciate y'all for looking in on us. You know what I'm saying? Y'all could just be hearing us right now, but y'all looking in on us. It's ESPN New Orleans 100.3 FM. It's Inside the Trenches. Y'all can check us out weekly right here, 6 to 8 on our show. Man, so much to get into, fellas. But before we get into it, we want to thank our sponsors who keep me fed every Friday. We go there. We do our remote. Small Sliders, baby, 1635 Barataria Boulevard in Marrero.
Talk to me now.
You heard me? See, Fred's a true Marrero guy. Like, we know to finish that part. You know what I'm saying? Now, CL New Orleans, he got the whole catalog for all the old school New Orleans songs. He bust down back in the day.
Shouts out to Pimp Daddy.
Pimp Daddy.
Yeah,
Pimp Daddy. Well, I'm Pimp Daddy.
Since we on the West Bank, shouts out to MC Spud.
MC Spud, rest in peace. Tim Smooth, he was a legend.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, indeed. We can get to that bag now. Our listeners like that, too. They like that New Orleans old school.
One more shout out. We want to shout out Trey 8 as well. Another
Trey.
West Bank legend. And one more, I'm sorry, fella, this is my last one. Shouts out to G Slim.
G Slim. Yes,
G
indeed.
Slim.
All them big boy records artists with a time in New Orleans. Speaking of New Orleans, guys, OTAs is in full swing. It's tons of stories coming out of OTAs. A lot of things stick out like a sore thumb, and we appreciate that. When you think of a new-looking offense, when you think of a refreshed quarterback room, you look across the offense and defensive line, CL, Fred, we see depth. It's all good.
Yep.
Well, of course, during OTAs, fortunately for us, they do allow the press to interview some of the guys. So I want to go through some of the questions that Derek Carr was asked. He's the leader of this team, and he was just asked about how the new looking offense is rolling for them. And let's check out, see what he's talking about.
It's been great. It's a lot of similarities, just word-wise, verbiage-wise. So that's always easier on players because it's faster for us to learn. Whenever the picture is two different words in your brain, that usually takes a little bit longer, but that part has helped. It's been a lot of fun. These guys are awesome. You see why, again, they've had so much success. No matter where the scheme has been run, there's been a lot of success everywhere. So it's been a lot of fun and just been working extremely hard at it. Learned from last year, obviously going through that process, and learning this one this year. Found some ways to do it better or more efficient and learn faster, and so it's been good.
Derek, what does listen to you?
That was Derek Carr just speaking on the new offenses, a new look here in New Orleans offensively. I know the fans out there are excited to see exactly how this thing is going to roll. CL, I come to you first. After listening to Derek Carr, I hear a little confidence in his voice. He did mention make things better from last year. The Saints offense was off last year. He constantly going to the sideline. Him and Carmichael had their choice of words. We saw that on the sideline. Yeah. So after hearing Derek Carr, what's your thoughts on the new offense being implemented?
Well, I like the transparency of Derek Carr. Just to put it in perspective for the average fan, you realize when he came to New Orleans last year, he was learning an offense that everybody else already knew. Right. So he was trying to catch up. He was on his sixth offense that he had to learn. So it's almost like forgetting everything you've already learned and then now learn this new offense with new terminology. So that's why he's saying some of the same verbiage is the same, so it helps out. But I love the fact that he's being transparent, realizing what didn't work last year and applying what can work this year. So I'm grateful for that.
Yeah, that's big, CL. I think when you start getting into verbiage,
right,
it automatically makes me think about when Coach Miles did come to LSU. Coach Pelini kept some of the verbiage the same. I mean, for our guys up front, what we used to hearing, like as a 3-tech, we used to hearing spike technique. That was the same under the Saban's defense, so we didn't have to relearn that. Fred, after listening to Derek Carr speak about the new offense, it does sound refreshing. We still want to see it perform well. What's your thoughts on this interview?
All right, everybody, step in front of the congregation. Derek Carr. I hear confidence, but I don't hear excitement. I don't hear enthusiasm. Sometimes when you get a new toy and you're trying to get some things and moving around, you get excited about the toy. People talk about a level of enthusiasm. That's not what I hear from Derek Carr. Derek Carr gave us a bunch of PR answers.
He did. It was political.
Politically correct answers. Derek Carr, you're not about to do it to me. You're not about to do that to me. No.
I feel you, Fred.
You're not setting me up for the bait and switch, Derek Carr.
Well, I mean, if you look at it, brother, it's kind of like a lose-lose, maybe no win-win situation, because if he comes in and he says, oh, it's super okay, or he's overexcited, then he's playing a role. So for him to be even keel, it's okay, because once again, we're still, all of us, including me, we're still in a learning process of this new offense that we know is successful, but it still takes time to learn, So, and just for the average Saints fan, I want them to slow down a little bit on the Spencer deal. He's a rookie. He's gonna go through some changes, and he has Hainer in front of him that won't give up his job. So everybody's in the learning process. Everybody needs to take a step back and realize this is a learning process, and it takes time.
It did kind of give that vibe of Broncos, let's ride.
Yeah. Well,
I just hope we don't set on fire like they did year 1 and 2.
We gave him a $140 million contract. He could lead with that if y'all want to. He said, you know what? It don't even matter. It don't matter who the guy was y'all drafted in the 5th round. It don't matter who the guy y'all drafted last year in the 3rd round. Y'all gave me $140 million, and y'all just extended me. I'm going to be here, and it's going to be what it's going to be. You want him to say that?
Absolutely. I do.
Say it loud.
Say it loud, say it properly. But he's not going to say it because of the season he had last year.
Or he's not going to say it because he lives in the city of New Orleans.
Yeah.
And because of the season he had last year.
Well, not just him, brother. Don't forget we had the 28th worst offensive line last year. Yeah, we had a tight end room that didn't show up to the last 4 games. We had wide receivers that was inconsistent. We had running backs that didn't get more than 3.2 yards a game. Let's realize this is the ultimate team sport, and unfortunately quarterbacks get way too much credit and way too much blame.
If y'all just tuning in, y'all, we're talking about the Saints OTAs. Derek Carr came to the podium and talked. Dennis Allen spoke. These guys are out here having fun. I saw Spencer Rattler. I guess he spent a little time down south. I think he's from Texas, if I'm not. No, he's from Arizona. He's from Arizona. That's right. But he spent some time in Oklahoma. I don't know, him and Cam, them Arizona boys. I don't know. Well, Cam been out here for a while.
Kyle Murray.
So he can peel the crawfish. But I saw that. Kyler Murray too. You had what's his name? Spencer Rattler. You also had Hainsworth from Tulane. Sincere from Tulane. Them boys are eating that crawfish, trying to show Fuaga how to eat the crawfish. So and that's what OTAs are about too.
Learning process.
Yeah, it's
learning process. It's all a learn. We have a right tackle that's moving to left tackle, and we're gonna leave him. I'm telling you now, we're gonna leave him at left tackle because Penny not a left tackle. So that's a learning process, a different step. Tell him, Fed.
No, I want to talk to you about to ask you about that, CL, about the offensive line, because the offensive line rolled out. We see who's where. We see where coach's mindset was, Fred, in terms of that. So just to roll it out for our listeners, you do have Eric McCoy at center. You have Cesar Ruiz at the right guard. Excuse me, and at the left guard you have you do.
I'm sorry. No, right now at left guard we have Saliveri,
and
at left guard,
and Shane. Was it Lemon?
Lemoon
from
the Giants.
From the Giants, and I think he spent some time in Chicago. So because I saw it was Nick Saliveri. I said his name right?
Nick Saliveri.
Sorry, Saliveri. Nick Saliveri. It was him and Shane, and on the other side you had Cesar Ruiz with you do behind him.
Copy.
And then on the starting left tackle is the 1st round draft pick.
Yes, sir.
Listen, bro. that has everything to do with how Clint Kubiak runs his offense. Period. He likes a Trent Williams type athletic left tackle to make those moves. It's a no-brainer, right, CL?
Exactly. And I'm glad you brought up the Trent Williams. Obviously, Kubiak was the offensive coordinator for the 49ers last year. We know they have the all-world Trent Williams, all-pro, future Hall of Famer Trent Williams at left tackle. Maybe Kubiak sees Fuaga in the image of a Trent Williams, and we're grateful for that because we all know that Penny is not a left tackle.
We don't know what he is yet.
He ain't
a left tackle. We don't know if he's a left guard. We don't know where he fits. But the left side of the offensive line is going to look different. We're going to have two new starters. Sure. Obviously, consistency at center, consistency at right guard, consistency at right tackle with Ryan Ramczyk.
But don't I'm sorry, Fred, but don't sleep on Udo because last year Ruiz was PFF rated Ruiz as the worst right guard in football last year.
You say we had the worst offensive lines.
Yeah.
So it kind of what's attractive about Ruiz is now he got some years under his belt, right? So he's played a little bit of time. Same thing with CJ McCoy, but to CL's point, Fred, it has to be competitive. Because let's go ahead and address this, and we'll listen a little bit more Derek Carr in a second. Let's address the elephant in the room. The Saints, another year, one of the easiest schedules in the NFL. Cam came on this show. He said it himself. You and I talked about this off camera. Fred, before we started this show, we talked about this. We can't have a losing. Dennis Allen, not we. Dennis Allen can't have a losing season. So I do appreciate how Coach is positioning himself to win. The offense needed to improve, Fred, and bringing in a solid offensive line or creating a competitive environment on the offensive line to be solid.
It's important because they started off as one of the worst offensive. If you talking about their offensive line to start the season was the worst penalized offensive lines in all of football.
Penny.
He's the leading candidate. And so what happens is, and Doug Marrone's out. So Doug Marrone's out, who's the former O-line coach.
Correct.
So you got to get this offensive line in check because what happens is if this team can't make the postseason, we talking about 4 consecutive years of not making the playoff. That is not going to sit right with the Who Dat Nation. And everybody going to start asking for changes. And it starts with the head coach.
Well, I think, Fav, it's time for the New Orleans Saints fans and admirers to start giving credit where credit is due, right? You know, everybody gets on Carr. Well, this year we have the San Francisco 49ers offense, right? We have their offensive coordinator. Last year, McCaffrey led the league in rushing. If everybody in the shot of my voice feels like Alvin Kamara is comparable to McCaffrey, then maybe Kamara should have leading rushing type of numbers this year. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, and because then the conversation you and I had,
right? Because if he's actually, right, because if he right, and look, and I'm so for that, but realize that last year, Christian McCaffrey led the league in rushing. Can we do this in New Orleans?
Well, see, I'm gonna come back to you for a second, real quick. I just want our listeners to know what we're talking about. Me and CL about 2 months ago had a little debate about who had the better career to date, Christian McCaffrey or Alvin Kamara. I said Alvin Kamara.
Huh?
Now he hit me.
Boy, what?
Okay, and you can debate too.
Debate. There is no debate.
Because y'all start going strictly off the numbers. What I said was give Alvin Kamara with Christian McCaffrey. Now he brought the Carolina days in, but he had Superman over there with him. We're not gonna act like
he had Drew Brees.
Mr. Fourth and One himself.
The definition of Superman. Drew Brees.
But he was more of a. He had Drew Brees to the lateral part of his career, and let's be honest, a lot of it was short passes to Alvin Kamara, and he was doing what he did.
Alvin Kamara's best years was when he was matched up with Mark Ingram, the 1 year that they had 1,500 yards all-purpose, 2 different backs all-purpose. I seen the jersey in the Hall of Fame. I saw it, took a picture with it next to it. Realize you couldn't tell me the second running back in Carolina. You couldn't tell me the second wide receiver in Carolina. You couldn't tell me the right guard in Carolina. I actually know it's your boy with the
Trey Turner.
Yeah. No, but you understand what I'm saying? There's so much around Alvin in all those years. There's no way in the world if McCaffrey wasn't that good, his numbers would be even comparable. But they the same.
I'm talking about the go. I got you. Please go, Fred.
To CL's point, if you watched him this season in San Francisco with the talent that they have there now, for him to put up those numbers with a Debo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, and a George Kittle next to him, and he's still doing this.
Still got that boy 25.
Homie, him.
He's him, but all I'm saying is you about to see a him in Alvin this year. I do think now that this Clint Kubiak, and I know that things got it. Coach Allen was candid with the media. He said Alvin's with his family. That he down there. I trust that Alvin's training the way he's supposed to train and all that. So as long as there's no dissension on that staff and that deal, he should be fine. But my whole thing is, y'all said, he had this O-line, he had Cam Newton at quarterback most of them years in Carolina.
With a wide receiver with Ted Ginn Jr. as his number one wide receiver.
Bruh, all right, okay. 2018 season is what he talking about, Fred. When him and you got the call from Prime, you get your ball, you get the call, all that. Him and Mark Ingram.
Funches.
Yeah, this what long as Cam Newton was on that roster with Christian, it was a threat back there. That's all I'm saying.
Who better, Cam Newton or Drew Brees?
New Orleans. Who's more dominant? Who's more athletic? Who can, when all breaks down, running? Come on now, we must have forgot.
One's a Hall of Fame, but one's not.
One's definitely one won a national championship and went first round overall. One went to the Super Bowl and lost. One went to the Super Bowl and won. And
one's
it's
Hall of Fame.
All right, now this brings another
the most accurate quarterback in the history of this league.
No
we
lie.
just talked to a Hall of Famer the other day. They take it serious.
I understand that. I'm not undermining Drew Brees at all. He put up Hall of Fame numbers. We're going to see the truth this year in Denver.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to say this, to add to the point. If I put Alvin on that Carolina team, I don't think he does what Christian does.
I think he does.
I don't think he does.
All right. Well, y'all tell us. Y'all here hit me at BigFave504. Y'all can go to the New Orleans Talk Network page. If you give Alvin Kamara, Cam Newton is what I'm saying, and you give Alvin Kamara, which now he has, and that's the argument I'm making with these two guys, he has that Clint Kubiak offense. I think Alvin puts up Christian McCaffrey numbers. That's me. With that type of support, that type of quarterback, nobody ever thought Drew Brees was going to take off and run. Nobody ever thought it. So now when you got two threats at running, it changed the game, that option.
I think he can produce the touchdowns that Christian can do. Because I've seen Alvin have
6 touchdowns.
But I've seen Alvin have like a 18 touchdown season where he had 14 like rushing. I
New
think
Orleans,
he can do that.
We're not playing on Alvin at all.
At all.
What we're doing is we're comparing offenses. I know when McCaffrey was in Carolina, he was 30% of the offense. Without having a second wide receiver, without having a running back, because I'm going to tell you who his backup running back was. I think his name was Hubbard, like number 30.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even, he doesn't even compare to a Mark Ingram, like, right? So pick any wide receiver that we had. They were better than Bunches. They were better than Ted Ginn Jr.
Michael Thomas was Michael Thomas.
I'm with you.
We talking about offensive player of the year. You think he might get a little attention?
Well, let me say this. That was in 2019. When would y'all say Alvin's numbers declined? 22 season or 23 season?
Whenever he didn't have Mark to take that brunt, that load off.
So you saying basically 2020, 2021, 2022. So the last 4 seasons, so Alvin has a lot to prove this year.
I believe so. I mean, $18.5 million a year for a running back.
Yeah, he got a lot. Well, we'll see. I'm still. I see Fred over here. I'm still, like I say, I'm gonna stick to my guns on this one, and it's set to see New Orleans. What I'm saying is, with this Clint Kubiak system, with the way he's all that motion and all that stuff going on pre-snap, man, all kind of stuff. Christian had clear. Come on now.
I'll give you even more information on that. Watch this. So let's just say Trent Williams is, Fawaga is our Trent Williams.
He getting there. Yeah,
right?
He gonna be. We can see.
Let's just say Olave is our Nuke. Let's just say Hill is our Debo. You see what I'm saying? Or our Jared Vicious. However you want to. We have the components to get Alvin to what he wants. But you realize it's about men inside them trenches. To lead the league in this league in rushing, you gotta get your face dirty. And I mean, every Sunday.
All right. Hey, I'm with it. I'm with it, Fred. But before we get to this quarterback room, Lord, we're going to probably need another 5 minutes for that one. Alvin Kamara, could he have a Christian McCaffrey type? Yeah, with these tools.
Derek Carr playing quarterback?
No, Drew Brees.
I mean, no matter how you look at it, if you feel like Brock Purdy is better than Derek Carr,
absolutely.
But it's not by that much.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Look at the numbers.
We
had the ninth ranked offense.
Boy, let me tell you something, bro.
Last year, and with no offensive line. Come on,
and then
the
Saints started to play better towards the end of the year last year. I give them that.
No offensive line, no running game. The tight end room finally showed up the last 4 games. Olave and Sheedy was who they were. Please continue.
No, and I want to ask you about them in a second. See, I'm gonna come back to you because I want to ask you about the wide receivers.
Bad throws. It happens. No offensive line.
I can't do this with Fred.
I'm just saying.
All right, look, Fred, hold on. All right. Derek Carr was hurt a majority part of the season.
And he got people hurt.
That's crazy that you say that because Penny started at left tackle 5 games straight. Go back and look at the first 5 games and Penny at left tackle.
Yeah, they started him.
That boy was running for his life. That's all I do is watch film.
But this is what I'm saying, though. To CL point, he did get hurt in the beginning. Now, we could have set up a better system, maybe more max protection, maybe just more motion before the snap. But what I'm saying to you, Fred, is this. During the entire duration of the season last year, he was hurt. When he got healthy, they started to win. The only part that hurts us, that schedule was D-Rob terrible.
Listen, the schedule was more favorable for the Saints to do something than not do something. You understand? The AFC South was not a good division.
NFC.
No, I'm talking about the AFC South.
Okay.
The Texans end up coming on at some point in time. The Colts were bad.com.
They beat us. Texas beat us.
I know they did.
Green Bay did too.
Green Bay shouldn't have won.
Green Bay definitely shouldn't have won. We couldn't run the football. You don't lose a 17-point game
in the fourth quarter
to run the football. We couldn't run, so that's
so you had this situation where the Saints had every opportunity because of a bad NFC South to make the playoffs, and he didn't. Now it's a matter of what can they do this year.
Yeah, it is. It's when you look at this schedule, the teams we play, we got every NFC East team. The NFC East is rebuilding. We play everybody in the NFC twice. So you win those 6 games, win maybe 2 of those other ones. Now you're at 8 wins. Now, who else we play? We play the Vikings this year, right?
No.
We have the NFC. We play San Francisco.
We play the NFC East,
mm-hmm.
and then we play the obviously NFC South.
Right. That's the 6 games. I got you. So we got the NFC South. We have I know we got Houston and Jacksonville and all that too.
NFC West.
We got the NFC West, so we do have it. So we do play San Francisco. We play LA. These are teams that's rebuilding. Cardinals rebuilding. LA rebuilding. Aaron Donald retired. So the Saints can pop off a 10-win season. If we win 10 games this year, that is a win for Coach Allen. That is a win for Derek Carr. Now, if we win 10 games, and it just so happened that Derek Carr played 5 of them or 7 of them, and now we go to our next question. I'm about to hit up Mike in a minute. We're going to listen to Derek Carr. And I'm saying that, y'all, I'm not saying this from a health reason. I do think and pray that he stays healthy, but this quarterback room looks a little different than before. Mm-hmm. So let's listen to Derek Carr talk about the quarterback room as it is right now.
Watching those 2 young guys, they're just starting. You know, I was sitting next to Spencer. He's like, "What year is this?" I was like, "It's 11." He goes, "I was like, what were you doing 11 years ago?" He said, "I was 12." You know, so I was like, "Bro, anything I can ever do to help you." And he knows this. I've told him on the phone. I called him after he was drafted. You know, I said, anything I can ever do to see you just have the life and career you ever could dream of, I'm here for you. And he's been asking questions. That's the one thing I love. He's hungry, you know, to learn. He's hungry to, you know, to understand, you know, hey, I saw that. What was that? You know, all that kind of stuff. So anyway, I love our room. And it's been a lot of fun watching just in this, you know, I know it's one practice, but we've been together, you know, for a while now. So it's been fun to grow and, you know, help teach those guys. Well, then go out here and do a rep, show them, and be like, see, that's what I'm talking about with the eyes, or, you know, that kind of stuff. So it's been a lot of fun.
No, listen, y'all. I like the camaraderie. They're building chemistry in the room. That's how you win. You want the room to be competitive for the quarterbacks, but not super competitive on the quarterback end. Fred, I come to you first about this. You have pros and you have cons to Derek Carr.
Mm-hmm.
The pros to Derek Carr, he just said it. He's been in the league 11 years. Whether it's good or bad, he's been a starter, right? Whether he did have that 1 year where he was an MVP candidate.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a lot of good up there. One thing I do remember from bouncing around the league, guys, Mark Brunell was still in that room with Drew Brees.
Yeah.
You know, that wisdom mattered.
That championship.
Yes, indeed. Man, CL, you can appreciate this. You went to college in Louisiana, late 90s, mid to late 90s. So you remember in high school hearing about USL and Jake DeHome and those guys. That was my first year in the league was his last year. So you have a young quarterback room with Josh McCown and all those guys in there. Look how far he went. Wisdom matters, Fred. It really does, and that's one good thing that Derek Carr brings to this locker room.
I love what he had to say. Because this is the time to build those bonds. Because when training camp gets here, it's about being competitive. It's about the reps, and it's about the team being competitive, ready to play on Sundays for September. Right now, it is about answering questions, asking questions, getting to know the offense, picking off things. So I love what he had to say because this is what OTAs is all about. OTAs ain't about getting somebody a job. Mm-hmm. OTAs is about coming here, getting some reps, and everybody building team bonding.
Yeah.
That's what OTA is about. It's getting in shape, getting in condition, but learning your teammates and learning who people are and who people are going to be doing. So I love everything here to say about, Spencer and the other quarterbacks and asking questions. So he's just trying to build a relationship. And I think that goes a long way.
It goes far when you build that chemistry. You're helping younger guys out. I mean, legit, Spencer Rattler told him he was 12 years old his rookie year. Like, when you think about that from that perspective, that is huge. CL, when you listen to Derek Carr speak about the quarterback room and how things are coming together, we talk about wisdom, but we also talk about being able to learn this offense in a comfortable way. So those little tidbits like, hey, you notice how I looked off that way? I'm going back that way, giving that route a little time to develop. Little tidbits like that go forward with Spencer Rattler.
Yeah, and and just to give the other side of the coin, I think after 1 day of OTAs, he realizes that they're not close to him competitively. Because at the end of the day, we're all competitors.
Mm-hmm.
It only takes me maybe 30 minutes in the booth to see if somebody got something for me.
Right.
But, and I think that's the same thing with Derek. I mean, they saw Spencer Radliff, throwing the ball a little high. They saw, Haney miss a few. And he realizes that, we all know the money is the hierarchy. But just on pure talent alone, he can see. And I know we like to get on, the fans like to get on Derek Carr. But I'll never put any of those guys in front of a 2-time Pro Bowler and a possible MVP one time, because this dude can play football in this league. We tend to forget, especially in New Orleans, we tend to forget that this is a team sport. You want Derek Carr to play better? Tell your offensive line to play better. You want Derek Carr to throw more touchdowns? Tell your wide receivers and your tight end to catch the ball when they're in the end zone.
Right.
You want us to finish games? Tell your running backs to get more than 3.2 yards a carry. If you want to have a better football team. But just to get back, and not to get off the point, Fav, but just to get back to it, I'm sure he realized first day of OTAs, even though we're all still learning this offense, them boys not close to me.
No, see every point you making is good. The only thing is the fifth. Like the if was a fifth type thing, right? So if that offensive line blocks well, right? If these receivers run really good routes, if the running game is subpar because the passing game is a bit lower, then you start looking inward.
Yep.
Now, hold on, Derek. We got your offensive line. We matured the receiving core, right? We've done everything that we had to do. The development of A.T. Perry in 1 year time, bringing in Clint Kubiak, where we saw this system work beautiful with Mr. Irrelevant and Brock Purdy, now we have a problem. Now you start looking at Kellermine, if he's still on the roster, Spencer Rattler, because you do need that spark, Fred.
Ain't nobody got no pom-poms for Nate Peterman?
Dog, nobody has faith in this guy. Dog, I was talking to Mario the other day on the show, and it's like Nate Peterman is like they're making this guy that can't bite it. But here's the thing, Coach Andrew likes him. You know, he worked with him before, but again, it's just the talent, the way the direction the NFL is taking in time. Like Jaden Daniels is in the NFL now,
right?
And you take that look. Patrick Mahomes is really him. Josh Allen is doing that. Like, we don't have Cam Newton anymore, but we got Josh Allen. Like, so I do look at that. Guys, we're going to wrap here in a second. I guess next time we do this, we're probably going to spend a little more time on the Saints defense. A lot of that's developing. I will say Kool-Aid McKinstry is now getting in the system here at New Orleans. I know he's been on the bike at a couple of practices, loosening up. Right. I like the way that cornerback room is shaping up. Boy, it's going to be some moves have to get made here next season. We'll wait for it. But I wanted to talk to CL, and maybe you could mention something on this too, y'all, as we wrap here. They released the starters for the wide receiver crew. You have Chris Olave, you have Rashid Shaheed, and you have A.T. Perry.
Mm-hmm.
So that says a lot. That speaks volumes. There were some offseason moves made, CL. We brought in a Sid Wilson. We bring in St. Brown. These guys have experience, but it looks like the Saints receivers that got drafted into this offense seem to be still the top receivers in this offense.
Yeah, you know, and all you can beg for and hope for is competition at every position. And I do believe that we have that at wide receiver. You know, we're not banking on anybody because it's truly an open competition. You know, I was able to set some eyes on Above Means the other day, and, you know, he's a lot bigger. His frame is a lot bigger than, you know, they showed on draft day. So, and even St. Brown is 6'4", 213. So we have some competition at the position. I just think that we all need to just give it some time, because at the same time, these boys don't know what they don't know just yet.
I'm hoping that the chemistry between this young core and their veteran quarterback gets it together. I watched the Green Bay Packers last year, and the chemistry looked so well with a young core and a young quarterback. And I think that's the combination sometimes a lot of fans are looking for. Sometimes that veteran quarterback trying to mesh with younger guys, they just see the game differently.
Right.
That they played in, you know, Derek Carr now has been in 11 seasons now. He's coming from the way he's played the position, he's coming from a different time. These young guys now are playing this position a little doing different than some of those conventional receivers that he's probably accustomed to playing with. I'm excited about it, but at the same time, there's questions.
Yeah, and never forget that even though Love is young, he's been in that same system for 4 years. You know, that's the same system they've been running in Green Bay. This is a new system in New Orleans. You know. So let's table it. Let's make sure we table it and give it its true credit. Everybody's on the same. Everybody's on an even page trying to learn this offense, and whoever wins it is whoever wins. I have no favorites whatsoever. I used to have a favorite. He's not here anymore.
Drew Brees is your favorite?
Nah, Mike was.
Mike Thomas?
Yeah.
All right. I didn't know that. You learn something new every day. 13 gone. Damn, CL gonna root for you in Denver.
You mean Los Angeles?
Los Angeles. Which one?
Oh, Chargers.
Okay, all right. Well, it's Inside the Trenches, y'all. Thank y'all for sticking around with us. Saints OTAs, I know that's a lot for a couple of OTA practices, right? But that's how excited we are about football season. Right. We ready to see it happen. Hopefully this Saints team has a winning season. It is important for Coach Allen. I mean, you have a growing league. Did they set up a system to do it? I think we on to something here, right? What I mean by that is you have Spencer Rattler, you have Derek Carr, right? We know Spencer Rattler is first-round talent. CL made a good point earlier about Jordan Love, that transition of power from Aaron Rodgers to Jordan. I sat behind Aaron Rodgers for 2.5, 3 seasons?
Yeah.
Right? And we see a well-seasoned player in this league, and then me and Fred was talking off air about Alex Smith to Patrick Mahomes, right? That didn't happen right away. So is that a situation? And we're not writing y'all off Derek Carr. We're just saying that, you do have a 3-year contract, and if those guys can be behind you and learn from you in that time frame, it'll be good. Well, baby, we're going to talk about a lot more. Shouts out to Small Sliders for sponsoring this segment. Y'all check us out there every Friday, 1635 Barataria Boulevard in Marrero.
Talk to me now.
Y'all holler at us. We there live at the remote. Come get some lunch with us. The burgers are delicious. It's the summertime. We got a new orange slushy drink there that you guys will love. And y'all check us out. Remember, we're streaming on New Orleans Talk Network. Y'all can check us out there. Go to the Inside the Trenches with Marlin Favorite YouTube page. Subscribe to that. Definitely subscribe to the Fan Views page. Hit my boy Fred up. Excellent, man. Let me tell you, if you love college football, if you love high school football, you love sports in general, they have great guests that come on there all the time. And y'all make sure y'all follow my boy Chris Lombard, CL_NOLA. Let me tell you something. It's a treat to follow his page during the football season because it's like you're following the Saints. I mean, he's the GM for real. He goes to most of the games. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all's support. Until next time, talk later. It's ESPN New Orleans, 100.3 FM, Inside the Trenches. Hello, somebody. Peace.
It's your girl, Spice Divas, the marketing diva, and you're tuned into Inside the Trenches with my boy, Marlin Favorite on ESPN 100.3 FM New Orleans. Hello, somebody.